Hello, I'm back from town. Went to the hairdresser, went to the art shop, went to some charity shops, and I feel like $1,000,000. And guess what? When I got back, I found out I've got 500 subscribers. Can you believe it? I am so happy. This makes me think of my 50th subscriber story I did tell you previously. I went to this coffee shop in a town. Hubby was working, I was walking around, and I land in this coffee shop and I started talking to the owner, this awesome young man, and I was telling him I was painting and I'm an artist, and then the next minute I said, and I've got a YouTube channel. Oh, he said, let me see. So I took my phone and I opened it at my Zetster's Lab YouTube channel, and he said his next words, oh, you've got 49 subscribers. Oh gosh, I was so embarrassed. I just burst out laughing. And I say, yes, but they're 49 very good subscribers. It was so funny. I mean, yes, I've got a YouTube channel. And he was so precious. He said, don't worry, I will be your 50th subscriber. And he did subscribe, and it was just a wonderful story. So now I've got 500 subscribers. And what is my channel all about? I was actually thinking, I'm all over the place with things that I do. As I say, you that have been with me a while will know I am all over the place. Then I am crocheting like crazy. Then it is sewing. Then it is I'm on a trip, so I just take photos and tell stories about that. Then I do my art, and then I learn a new thing in art, and then I'm in my garden. But what is my message? What is the reason actually behind the YouTube channel? Behind what I am sharing, because that is my joy. My absolute joy is sharing my journey. And then I realize, even when I share things with cooking, it's life hacks, call it that. It is things that makes life easier, more joyful. Life doesn't have to be so heavy, such a struggle. We can really liven it up, and we can start to enjoy life. So that's what I am sharing. So this morning's share is about my canvases that I found at the charity shops. I mean, 10 Rand, 20 Rand, $1, $50, $50. I mean, art supplies are crazy expensive. So, the more you paint, the more you create, the better you become. It's just how it is. So, you need to buy the supplies. And as I say, lots of money. So I went and I bought some paints that I needed, bought some paint brushes, because now I am busy with Bob's Blast, the artist, and his way of painting, and I'm learning so much. And what the most wonderful thing about his art is, and that is actually what my art is also all about. My workshops is all about how to think like a child, how to get back to just enjoy what you are doing, your art at that moment. A child just go for it. He just plays with the cookies and the chalks and paints, and there's so much enjoyment, and that is really what my life message is all about. Because years back I was also depressed and in doom and gloom most of the times, and I really didn't enjoy my life. My life was boring and whatever, and I don't know how I got onto this journey. But one of the things I remember is I started focusing only on this day, the day that I'm actually in, and doing things in that day that brings out the life in me. I remember I was busy in my garden, and I told you this previously, but financially we were in a deep hole, and I thought, but why am I now in this garden? Why am I working so hard in my garden? We can lose the house. What is the use? And then the life in me just made this impression on me. Just do what you have to do in this moment. That's all. Do not worry about tomorrow and whatever. Make what you have and where you are, your present life, make that beautiful. Find the beauty in that. Plant your plants. That is where the enjoyment and the joy is, in planting the plants, not in, where will I be in 10 years' time, or whatever, or will we lose the house, or what is the use of this? The use of this is the enjoyment and the deep peace and joy that you feel in this moment, today. The same with my art, the same with sewing, the same if you're a baker, with baking, with crocheting, with gardening, with playing the piano, an instrument. It's not about the beautiful painting at the end. It's about what's happening in you, through you, while you're busy doing your things. So that's why my message always is, find those things that makes you feel alive. And it's about doing it in that moment. I always tell the story of my daughter-in-law. She's now starting to play the piano. And when I look at her playing the piano, I cannot tell you what I feel. I just feel this. I look at her and I just see absolute peace and joy. While she's doing it, there's a stillness around her. She's in a different space, call it that. She's no longer part of this rat race and trying to survive. And, she's in a space where she can just be present, just feel and hear and be part of the abundant life in her. And that is why I share everything that I do, because I share. The joy to me is the sharing, is standing here and sharing this story. That is my joy, to make you realize we're all different. So what brings me in that space is different. That is bringing my daughter-in-law in her space. And the words for it, I don't even have the words for it. But in that moment, when I'm doing what I really, really love doing, and I experience the deep peace that is already in me. Now it's just flowing, where I experience the peace and the deep joy. That is what it means to be alive. You are in that moment part of the life. The abundant life is always in us. But we are so busy all around that we miss that. And by creating, you move into that space. Like Jesus always said, he said, I'm going to my Father. That's what it means. That's the meaning behind his words was, sorry, I cannot take this anymore. This craziness in this outside realm, in this outside world. It's too much for me. I need to go to my Father. I'm going to my Father. And that means the abundant life inside of him. The same life that's in me and in you, and even in the plants and in the dogs and the animals. But I read the beautiful story this morning of just how, let's say, an apple tree. How an apple tree has been planted in this space. And all that the apple tree do is just live. And in living, it produces these beautiful fruits in season. Remember, always in season. Oh no, but we want to produce fruit and be whatever 24/7. But what if that tree starts to moan and groan, starts to think, I don't want to be here. I want to be where those trees are. They look better than me. So I want to be planted there. Oh, and I don't like the shade on this side. I want this. And I don't like the birds singing too much. And I don't like the color of that bird. And starts moaning and groaning. What's going to happen with the tree? It's going to wither, become depressed, and die. But that's what we do. We are moaning and groaning about everything. We're in this country, so we moan about that. We moan about our government. We don't want to be here. We don't want to be in this neighborhood. We don't like these neighbors. We don't like the color of these neighbors. We don't believe like what these ones believe. We don't want to be here. And what happens while we are in that state of thinking and wanting different things? We start to wither and die slowly but surely. So we need to come back to that point where we just start to live in this moment, in this day. Just find whatever your hands can find to do that makes you peaceful and make you feel alive. So that's what my channel is all about. This message, because that is what I am learning. I am learning day by day. I had such a pity party a couple of days ago. I was really very angry and upset because I really wanted to go to this art retreat in New Bethesda. But no matter how I tried, no, we don't actually have the money and I'm feeling sick. And deep down, I just knew I wasn't meant to go. I mustn't go. If I needed to go, I would have been there. But it was not in the plan for me. So that is why I didn't get the push, the strength, the provision, the whatever I needed in this realm to go there. I didn't receive that. It didn't manifest it because it wasn't the plan for me. And I really understood that. But when my friends started arriving in New Bethesda and I wasn't there, I felt terrible. I just couldn't make peace with that situation. I was angry and upset and resentful and really feeling physically ill later, worse than I was feeling. So that's what we do. So to be at peace with where you find yourself in this moment, because that's where you're supposed to be. So to find that gratefulness and that fullness and that mindfulness, to just be here where you find yourself now, that is heaven on earth. Not wanting to be somebody somewhere else. Yes, it's fine to be a little bit sad. Oh yes, I really wanted to be there, but I understand it wasn't in the plan for me. That's great. But I was furious and resentful and angry, and all these things started boiling out of me. So once again, that's a good thing. That's for my good, because that shows me what is still inside that I need to deal with, those things. If it comes out of you, it must be inside of you. So there's still deep anger and resentment and self-pity, and those things are still there. Excuse me. And that situation, me not being there, just allowed those things to start pouring out. And then I had a decision to make. Am I going to deal with those things because that is my enemies, my demons, that is my problems, the things that keep me hostage, in bondage? Or am I going to blame whoever and whatever for, not being there? So yes, I did the growth thing, and I just surrendered those feelings. Said, I always speak to the abundant life in me as my Father. Father, I surrender these feelings to you. I know I'm not supposed to be there. But I am resentful because, why am I resentful? Because my will's not being done. We all pray and we say, Father, let your will be done. But when the will is not the ego's will, we fall apart, and it's this huge thing. So yes, I am still growing. Husband will always say when I have this pity party and fall apart, you really must practice what you preach. And then I say, I'm practicing, okay? I am practicing. I am learning, I'm practicing. The only thing that's now different is I'm starting to recognize who my true enemies are. The things inside of me. So when I find myself in a situation like the one, and those things come pouring out, then all I can do is, I recognize you. I really don't want you, so just get out of me. Father, set me free. Pour your life, let your life flow. Get those things out of me. I know that's how I talk. I don't know how other people deal with these spiritual things. But mine is just acknowledge them, see them for what they are, realize they are your enemies, and choose life. Life is peace and joy in the midst of any situation. That is heaven on earth. That place where you have grown into finding peace and joy in the midst. Well, I was not going to talk this long thing, so perhaps after this I've got minus 500 subscribers. But as I say, I am true to myself. I share what the life in me wants to share. Whoever are there of you guys are listening and are out there, and that's fine with me. I had to come to that point where I realized I do this because this is what I need to do. I cannot help myself. I just need to share. So that's why I am actually overwhelmed, realizing, wow, there's 500 people out there in the world that wants to listen to what I want to share. That to me is amazing. That is what I just overwhelmed about, because really, who would have thought? Because it's really not about me. It's just about finding whatever you need to find to start experiencing the abundant life, heaven here and now, because that's why the life is in us. To guide us, to provide for us, to give us, fold us to overflowing with peace of joy in the midst of any situation. Any situation. Because we're going through tough situations. All of us, the world, the outside world is in shambles. It's crazy. But the life in us promises us peace and joy in the midst of anything. All you need to do is just walk with me. And that is what it means. Just find those things that makes you feel and hear and be part one with a life that is already in you. Love you lots. Is it from Zetster's Lab? If you're one of the 500 subscribers, thank you. Love you lots.